Thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Efrem Graham. Ahead today, the U.S. military makes it clear it has a wide range of options ready to strike Iran's nuclear program if the time comes. And President Donald Trump reportedly telling Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to wind down the war in Gaza. But some say this could be the most important phase of that war yet. After days of protest in Los Angeles against the administration's crackdown on illegal immigration, a curfew is now imposed, but tensions remain high, and the White House is warning of more military responses as the protesters spread to other cities. The U.S. Army is celebrating its 250th anniversary, and this Saturday, a major parade will be held in Washington to honor our fighting forces. And we're going to have a look at the unusual movie coming out now from an unexpected author. All those stories and more right now on CBN NewsWatch.
This is CBN NewsWatch.
It is Wednesday, June 11th, going to begin this half hour with Israel's conflicts in the Middle East as the U.S. military makes it clear it is ready to strike Iran's nuclear program if necessary, and as President Trump reportedly is leaning on Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to wrap up the war against Hamas in Gaza. But as Chris Mitchell reports now from Jerusalem, there are signs Israel is entering into one of the most decisive phases of the war.
According to Israeli Channel 12, in a call on Monday, President Trump reportedly told Netanyahu, "I want you to end the war. Finish it. The war is exhausting itself." Military expert Yaakov Lapin tells CBN News the IDF is making steady progress and needs time to finish the job.
We have 5 IDF maneuvering divisions that are slowly but surely and very systematically taking control of more and more of the Gaza Strip. And the reason that they're moving slowly and methodically is because Hamas has booby-trapped, really, in places like Khan Yunis, 1 out of every 3 buildings is booby-trapped, according to the IDF personnel that are down there on the ground.
He also points out that Hamas's power is weakened as food is going directly to Gazans through the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. Tuesday, it distributed more than 2 million meals.
And the reason that that's very harmful to Hamas is because it takes away the dependency of the Gazan civilians on Hamas, and that removes its political power. This is also a financial blow because Hamas sells excess aid that it hijacked until now on Gaza's markets.
Lapin says in many ways, Israel is engaged in the most important phase of the war against Hamas. President Trump also is reported to have asked Netanyahu to back away from attacking Iran's nuclear facilities while the U.S. and Iran are trying to strike a deal. However, CENTCOM Commander General Michael Kurilla told House Armed Service Committee Chairman Congressman Mike Rogers that if the negotiations fail, the U.S. is prepared to take military action against Iran.
If the president directed, is CENTCOM prepared to respond with overwhelming force to prevent a nuclear-armed Iran?
I have provided the Secretary of Defense and the President a wide range of options.
I take that as a yes.
Yes.
On Tuesday, U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee told Bloomberg News the U.S. now holds deep doubts about a Palestinian state, and he doesn't expect to see one in our lifetime. In an interview with CBN News, Huckabee pushed back against French President Macron's statement that he would declare a Palestinian state.
The president of France would like to have a Palestinian state. I suggest that he host one on the French Riviera. He has that property, that's his. He can do what he wants. But for him to impose something on a sovereign nation like Israel and tell them what they're going to do, I thought not only was inappropriate on its face, but ill-timed. Israel's in a war for its life.
Macron has since walked back his push for a Palestinian state.
And Chris is joining us now from Jerusalem to continue our coverage. So, Chris, let's begin with Iran. A key U.S. military leader says the U.S. is prepared to strike Iran's military program if necessary. Do statements like that put more pressure on Iran to make a deal, or does it even matter?
Yeah, I think it does matter, Efrem, and it does send a clear message of deterrence to Tehran, and that the military option is real. It's been planned. General Kurilla is head of CENTCOM. He knows what he's talking about, and these plans are operational if the president decides to go ahead. It also probably is a message to others in the region, Ephraim, to reassure them that the U.S. won't let Iran go nuclear. On the other hand, it could stiffen Iran's resolve. And what we have right now, Ephraim, it seems to be almost daily and almost sometimes throughout the day, a diplomatic chess game by many parties. We hear public statements from the president, from Prime Minister Netanyahu, and really what's going on behind the scenes. And right now, as well, Ephraim, there are internal disagreements, it seems, within the administration, within the White House, whether or not to have a military action against Iran. Some are advising against it. Others, sometimes publicly, are pressuring the president to go ahead and do that. So I would say it's certainly a time to pray about what's happening there in the White House, what's happening here in Israel, and what will happen to Iran's nuclear facilities. We really do seem to be at a tipping point in the Middle East. And as Ambassador Huckabee told us, we're really at